I will only step in if you get bogged down and you don't seem to be moving on it, okay? But the rest of it is up to you. Okay, it's on right now, and you just talk to the phone. Spray it off.
Hey guys.
That's the first part. Pinson Valley High School Band.
The
And then you go
Pinson
from
Valley
there.
High School band is. Okay. Anyone have any suggestions about this
All the
one?
time I ask you to be quiet, now it's time to speak up.
Are we working off of what's already on the board, or are we?
Yep, you have to work, with the things on the board are what you identified, right?
Yes.
So let's work off the things on the board. Take all of those concepts and roll them into one sentence.
It doesn't actually have to be all of like these 5 words, but something like alongside these. Anybody have anything?
It's going to be a compound sentence with lots of commas and coordinating conjunction.
Okay, Kiera. Okay. The PBHS band is family. Is that okay with everyone?
Just like,
The PBHS band is family.
okay, so how does family relate to one of those 5 things?
Memories.
Okay, so instead of saying family, figure out how to incorporate memories. Okay, and the statement that included that was create, I think it said create lasting memories. Okay, so that is part of a statement that could go somewhere in the sentence.
Okay.
PBH band makes long, no. PBH lasting band takes pride.
What did you say?
PBH band takes pride in its attitude.
Okay, so we're on to something here. Okay, she's on to something here, just to kind of get the ball rolling. What she said was the PBHS band takes, say it again,
Pride.
say the whole thing.
Takes pride in its attitude.
Okay, just as an example, takes pride in its attitude, okay, and then it kind of builds from there. Now, that's not saying that it has to be, but that's the idea. That's how you build the sentence. You incorporate the concepts into the statement. Okay, so create the whole statement with those things, one at a time.
Well, in order for it, like what you said, it could be encouraging attitude.
Exactly, it could be an encouraging attitude. You absolutely could use that. But that's what y'all need to decide, not me. And you can write and erase.
Okay.
That's the whole thing. You don't have to write the final draft.
Oh. Okay, I know how to. It's for this one.
Yeah, usually, yeah. There you go.
I'm saying.
Just for time, how about you tell me what to write?
There we go.
Alright. The PBHS band, what you say again?
Takes pride.
Takes pride. And it's an encouraging attitude. Asian.
By continuing to respect each other.
Okay, by continuing to respect each other.
How about when somebody tells you something, run over to the thing, say it to the microphone? I'll get your step through.
Okay.
What did you say again, Asia?
By respecting each other.
By respecting each other.
Say it.
By respecting each other.
Thank you.
I mean, there's only one more thing.
Creating lasting memories.
And creating lasting memory. That's what she said, yep.
Yeah. Does this mission statement look great to you?
Would you read it? Would you just read it all?
All right. The PBHS band takes pride in its encouraging attitude by respecting each other and and creating lasting memories. Is everyone on board with that? Okay, thank you.
All right. See, that was good. You did a good job.
Here we go.
Nicely done. All right, yeah. About a hand for Jasmine. Okay, so what we've done here is you have created your band's vision statement for this year. And I want to emphasize it. You did this. This is buy-in from everybody. Everybody had a say in this. Everybody had the opportunity to speak up, to contribute. So there should be no problem with everybody getting on board with this statement. So what do you do with this? Well, first of all, somebody needs to make sure they take a picture of it. And then you need to take one of those sheets of butcher paper, and whoever can write the neatest in this room needs to write that thing out, and it needs to go up somewhere where everybody in the room can see it. And it needs to become your band's pledge for this year. And if I were you, I would ask Mr. Brandenburg if, as the leadership, you could come up. I don't know, where's your front of your room? Up here?
Here.
Up here. I would ask Mr. Brandenburg if all the leadership could come up early in band camp, if you're ever going to be in here all together, which you probably won't.
We'll have to present more than once.
So you present more than once. And then the leadership stands up here as a unified team. And one member of the leadership team, maybe a drum major, maybe a senior, says, we spent time working on developing a vision for what we think this year's band can be. And here's what we came up with. The Pinson Valley High School Band takes pride in its encouraging attitude by respecting each other and creating lasting memories. And this is going to be what we live by all year long. And we're going to ask everyone in the band to live by this as well. We feel very strongly about this as a leadership team, and we're going to do our best to live this as our primary example of our values this year. If it just sits on somebody's phone because they took a picture of it, if it just sits in your book because you read it, it won't mean anything to anybody. But since you invested in it, if you will take that to everyone else in the band and ask them to invest in it and then go out and live it. I think it's important for this team to understand that during the course of the season, you will need to find time to meet on a regular basis, to talk about things, and it might be a Zoom meeting. It might not be able to be a regular face-to-face meeting, depending on how things go. But it's important for this group to gather together to periodically talk about how things are going in the band. Give feedback to the directors. Let him give feedback to you. And that's how the team builds success. If this is the only time that this group ever meets together for this whole season, then I apologize for wasting your afternoon. I'm very sorry that you had to sit through all this. The ones that are successful are the ones that take this and they continue to do it throughout the season. During camp, you might need to meet every day. You might need to meet twice in a week. Once school starts, maybe once a week. But the lines of communication always need to be open in this group, facilitated by the drum major and the directors, but always in the presence of the staff. You never want to call a meeting of the student leadership without the staff present or without the staff knowing about it. Okay, because that's not what we want. I think you got a great statement here. And I think if you'll live this, you've got an opportunity to have something really cool happen for you this season. I really think that. The last thing I'm going to leave with you is just a statement in general for this group about seeking opportunities to continue making music once you graduate from high school. I suspect that many of you are going to go to college when you graduate from here. And if you do, I want to ask you that whenever you go to visit that college, that you make an appointment to visit with the band director at that college and talk to him or her about the opportunities they have for you to continue making music in a college band. There are two big myths about playing in a college band. One, that you have to be an all-state player. That's not true. We have all-state players in our band, but it's certainly not the majority. It's only about 25%. So that means 75% weren't. Number two, people think, I won't have time to do it. In most cases, what college bands do is less
than what high school bands do. Less, in some cases a lot less, depending on how competitive the high school band is. So if you can spin all the plates right now in high school, be in the band, you absolutely can do it in college. And wherever you're planning to go to school, I promise you there's a band director like me who needs sharp musicians like you to play in their college band. We're not like a high school director that can go to the middle school and give the speech and say, hey, come up and join the high school band. Because our feeder program is literally hundreds of high schools around the state and around the country. We can't get to them all. So I'm not speaking specifically on behalf of Mississippi State. If you come to state, I hope you'll audition to play in the band. But I'm speaking on behalf of the college directors in this state and in this region that are going to be the recipients of your musical talents if you play in their band program. And there are many good band programs here in Alabama. Many. There are many throughout the region. You've invested a lot in band. You've invested time. You've invested in instruments. You've invested in fundraising. You've invested a lot. And I bet if I asked every single one of you, has it been worth it? You'd all say, yes, it's absolutely worth it. Because if it wasn't worth it, you wouldn't be sitting here right now. You would have quit like some of your friends did. So if this is an enjoyable activity, which I suspect it is for every single one of you, it makes no sense to graduate from high school, put your horn in the case, put the case in the closet, and never play your instrument ever again. When we join band in 6th grade, one of the things we tell you is that you can play music for the rest of your life. That's one of the selling points. So you're getting to a point where you're going to have a transition. When you graduate from high school, the next thing is playing a college band. That's how you continue playing the rest of your life. When you graduate from college, you go on, you become a member of society, you're working somewhere, and you find a community band, and you play once a week in a community band just for fun. Or you find a church orchestra, and you play in that church orchestra once a week just for fun. But you keep making music because music is something that's important to you now, and it can continue to be important to you for the rest of your life. I promise you, you make that decision, you join a college band, you won't regret it. If you're not sure about it, do it for one semester. You can survive anything for one semester. If it's terrible, you don't ever have to do it again. But if it's great, it'll be one of the best things about your college experience, no matter what you major in. In 2014, we had the chance to take the Maroon Band to the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida. We went 6 nights completely free to every student. We went to South Beach. We took a cruise. We took the band to Disney World. We had a blast. You ask anyone who was in the band that year what they remember the most, they remember the Orange Bowl trip. Most of them do not care that we lost the game. They will remember what they learned in English class yesterday, but they will remember that bowl trip for the rest of their lives. Those are the types of memories you can make being in a college band. So that's my spiel. I always do this at the end of leadership sessions because when I talk to leaders, I know I'm talking to people that will make an impact in their college bands, whether they go to a large in-state school or a regional school or they go outside of the state. Find the band program and keep making music. I promise you, you won't regret it. You guys are set up to have a great season. Ms. Brandberg, I thank you for the opportunity to be here. It's really been my pleasure working with you. Y'all are set up very well. I wish you the very best, and I thank you for your time today.
Thank you very much. We sure appreciate you, Dr. Arthur. So all I need from y'all before you head out, if you'll come grab a disinfectant wipe, just wipe down your chair, doesn't have to be doused, just wipe it down and just stack it up. And then I will see y'all on Monday.
Mr. Brandon, what about the markers?
You can put the markers on the table. Keep the folder. I need the markers back. Oh, no, you're right.